Hospital porters, pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV and welcome to this. It's another watch party. I thought it's time we had another one of these because I love these watch/read parties. In this case, it's watch only, so it's just a movie, no book involved. Therefore, I'll do the review sooner after the introduction. I'm going to leave it months or whatever it was. I think it was over a year with June, wasn't it? Oh, yes, I'll do the review much sooner, but I do like these and they're good fun. Now, this is an interesting thing we're going to watch now. We're going to do in this watch party. Firstly, this doesn't often happen. We're going in dry, guys. We're going straight in dry. By that, I mean I've not seen this film yet. I've not seen it. Now, most of the watch parties I do are for films I've already seen. This one is one I'm going to do for one that I haven't. So I'm as much a stranger to this film as you are, unless you've seen it before. Now, I know one of you has, because I'll tell you why. It was a viewer who recommended this to me. This was quite a while ago, actually. Someone showed me the trailer. I think it was on a reply to comments video, and I actually watched a bit. I watched the trailer, and I thought, wow, this looks good. This looks very good. But I kind of forgot about it. So I sort of put it. So I'll make a mental note of it. And you know what they say about mental notes? They're not worth the paper they're written on, and they're not written on paper. So I soon forgot about it. Then it popped back up in my head, and I said, right, oh, that film, yeah, I need to look into that. And because the trailer was fascinating, even though I suppose the trailer kind of spoils it a bit. If you watch the trailer, beware that I got a feeling. I don't know yet because I've not seen the film, but I got a feeling the trailer is kind of the film in miniature. It's more of a synopsis than a trailer. But I still think it's worth watching. But then I thought, where was it? I forgot all about it. And you know what? I could see the trailer in my head, and I thought, I forgot what the bloody film is called. I forgot what it is. So I started doing a bit of searching. And I put out an appeal on one of the videos. I can't remember which one it was, but I mentioned in one of the videos, viewers, if you were the one who showed me that video about the slaves, and then they get set free, and then there's this wisecracking sort of like Jack the Lad comes in and like subverts them. Could you please tell me what that is? Could you please tell me what the film is called? Because I'd love to watch the whole film. And I didn't get a response, so maybe the viewer didn't see that. But then I thought, what am I going to do? Because it suddenly came back to me. I could use AI. So indeed, I asked Grok, because I mean I'd done some searching before, which is Google, and I just put in tag words like slavery, emancipation, things like that, plantations, etc. And all I got was like 7 years a slave and all these horrible white guilt trips. I couldn't find the film I was looking for. I mean, if you want to see films about slavery and how evil white people were and everything, you can find them everywhere. I mean, there's an entire section of Hollywood dedicated to making films to make white people feel bad about themselves. In fact, that kind of is all of Hollywood, isn't it? With a few exceptions. So, I mean, I found it again. They found it was called Jones Plantation, a 2023 film. And so I found the trailer, I watched it, and I thought, yep, this is it. And as I said, the trailer really is kind of like, I've got a feeling the trailer kind of gives it away a bit. It's a lot of spoilers, but I'm tempted to sort of make this kind of a review just by watching the trailer, but I'm not going to go that far. I am going to watch the film and see. But I've also got a feeling that some people are going to, there's several sort of assumptions I'm making right now. One of them is that some people are going to compare the main character to Donald Trump. Now, the main character is this guy. Can you see him? This chap here. He's played by, I don't know who it is. I think it's this guy Morris Johnson. I think it is. Yeah, it's played by someone called Morris Johnson, who actually doesn't have. He's not actually a well-known actor. There are no sort of famous actors in this that I can see so far in the cast list. This guy appears to be this guy. He appears to be the main character and the main antagonist or anti-hero of this film. And I've got a feeling someone is going to compare him to Donald Trump. And we're going to have a bit of a debate about that when it comes to the live stream. And they're going to say, well, Ben, this is the situation you're in. You've been fooled just like these people. But we'll see. We'll see. Now, one thing I do hope, and I don't know yet, because you can. This film is available. You can rent it on Amazon for £3.49. £6 something to buy it. Now, it may be, this will vary depending on what country you're in, how much it costs to watch, because it's on other platforms as well, Tubi, iTunes, etc. Apple, Apple Play stuff, Apple Play and stuff like that. Now, it may vary because, I mean, for example, Darcy Weir's latest film, The Cosmic Cult, or I think it's called, he said that was like a couple of quid to buy. He said it was like $2.99 in the US. So I said that's going to be about £2 here in Britain on Amazon. It turns out in the UK, if you want to watch Darcy Weir's Cosmic Cult, it's a freebie with ads. Other countries, you've got to pay a rental fee. So it'll depend where you are and what you do here. But this is one thing I do hope, and I don't know if this is the case, because I said this is actually not a mainstream studio production. As I said, I made that joke about Hollywood making white people feel bad about ourselves. This is not a mainstream studio production. This is independent. This is an independent film, and there's no Wikipedia page for it, but there is an IMDb, which I'll show you. There it is, Jones Plantation. Dark comedy, psychological. You can't say black comedy, can you, these days? You can control a man with brute violence, but you can never truly own a man until he's convinced that your word is law and obedience is a virtue. Destined to be a cult classic at the forefront of American dissident cinema. All right. Well, I hope. See, one thing I hope this isn't going to be some kind of just another white guilt trip. I mean, I'm hopeful for the fact that they couldn't actually get a. If it was produced independently, it's probably not. It may well not be. It may well not be. But anyway, let's have a look. We can look at some of it from the IMDb. I'm not going to show you the trailer because the idiots will get me a bloody copyright strike. But here's their director. Now, I don't know how you pronounce this. It's either Andrew Treglia or Andrew Treglia, depending on whether that is an Italian or a Cornish name. It could be either. It looks like it could be either. But he's not a well-known actor. He says editor, director, writer. Barnum's World, Blockheads, The Return of the Neighborhood. These are the only 3 credits he's got on here. Now, this is one of the actors here. Again, only 2. He was in Barnum's World. That's Treglia's previous production, and in this one, so he's not very well known. But there's this guy, Lee Goldman. Larkin Rose, I have heard this name before somewhere. Actor, writer, music department. Larkin Rose is known for Jones Plantation. Now, this is where it gets a bit. This is where I'm starting. This is where warning signs are going up. Lauren Southern. This person's made a film about Lauren Southern. Lauren Southern is a Canadian kind of. Oh no! Hang on a minute. Lauren Southern talks about social and political issues. That's interesting. Lauren Southern, Brittany Sells, Alexander Dugin. Right. Okay. So it's not some kind of hit piece on Lauren Southern. Now that is actually hopeful. If they do believe in, if they are actually given a platform to people like Lauren Southern, Alexander Dugin, etc., because these are dissidents, these anti-politically correct dissidents. And America, Freedom to Fascism. This is an Alex Jones film, I believe. I think it's an Alex Jones film. Yeah, it is. A documentary that exposed. Oh no, Aaron Russo. Documentary that exposes the connection between income tax collection and the erosion of civil liberties in America. Right. That's of course Larkin Rose. That's where I mean I can't actually think right now exactly where I heard that name, but I've heard the name Larkin Rose, and that would make sense. And so it's if it's a he or she, if they're making films about Lauren Southern and other sort of dissidents, and films like for Alex Jones or for Aaron Russo, then that's hopeful. That's hopeful that this isn't another bloody whip to beat white people with, which is what a lot of these things are. Now, this is the man who plays the chap behind me. And it just says here, he calls him this tall, handsome, and versatile American actor. Yeah. It says here, best known for booming voice, chiseled, muscular frame. Oh, he sounds like a black Stephen Greer. Anyway, he doesn't have. This gives a brief bio of him. He caught the acting bug when he stepped onto stage. His first stage play, Thomas Melanson's Diary of Black Men. All right. And it just says race, ethnicity, black, African American. Like we're fucking blind. Yeah. Oh, I thought he was some kind of old Chinese peasant, and then they tell me, oh no, he's a black American. It's like bloody Diane Abbott. I'm a black woman. Yes, we can see you, Diane. You're not on the radio, you know. Anyway, it gives you just a brief bit of trivia about him. He played football for Albany State University. Right, I'm guessing that's not proper football. I'm guessing that's that weird game which looks like a punch-up in a motorcycle race starting grid, which I couldn't get head. When I was in the States, I couldn't make head or tail of it. Everyone else was cheering in the pub, but I couldn't make head or tail of it. So he played that game. And this is another actor, Lee Goldman. I don't know who he plays. I will know when I've watched it. But he was in Barnum's World as well. So he's worked before with Anthony Treglia, and J.J. Green, born Jonathan Jason Green on a cold December night. Woo, all right, there you go. Again, he doesn't have a big IMDb. So it just says he's in Street Smart Vida, Don't Feel at Home, Greenleaf, and it's just his credits. It does mention Jones Plantation, and he does have a few. He only goes back to 2016. He's been in a few TV and films and things like that. Jones Plantation, there we go. But none of the cast seem to be very, very well known people. That's one thing that strikes me. Now, I'm going to break a rule here because, as I said in the introduction, I never read reviews, as you know. Well, I'm going to go to the actual website for the film because I did actually glance not at the full reviews, but some of the quotes. And seeing there's very little information I can actually find on this film because it does seem to be quite a low-budget independent production. I'm going to just quickly look at some information on here. Hopefully, you can see that. Yes, you can. We all live on Jones Plantation, and it just says here you can control man with brute violence. There we are, dedicated to become a cult classic. It's now available. Yeah, it just shows you how you can watch the film. They're only quoting David Icke here. Look, he gave it 5 stars. This is why I say I'm not going to read full reviews yet, but I'm going to just look at some of these quotes here. It's an outstanding movie because it shows how they do it. It's a classic dissection of the political system. That's what I thought when I watched the trailer. Wicked, yeah. As James Corbett, the Corbett Report. I don't know who she is. Don't know who he is. Don't know who he is. But he says here, co-author. I don't know who Charlie Robinson is, but he says controlled demolition of the American empire. Jones Plantation found the right way to have a conversation about our relationship with the state. Whether the chains are visible or not, we never really get off the plantation. And sometimes it takes an outstanding story to wake up the sleeping public. This sounds really good, doesn't it? James Whitlock, never heard of him. These guys have done something tremendous. They've used slavery to tell a spoof about what's going on in modern America and how our minds are being manipulated and controlled. It's an absolutely brilliant movie. Right. Okay, so I've broken a rule there. I've read you a few quotes. But I can get the plot. The plot is you can see in the trailer. It's about a group of slaves who are nominally freed, but then they are manipulated psychologically and culturally and politically by this person. That's what I'm getting. This person becomes the kind of Mr. Fix-It, the kind of gopher, the kind of like what's the word they use? Change agent. That's a good word. Change agent. Yeah, he becomes like he becomes like kind of the change agent that keeps the people in a different kind of slavery, one that's in the mind. I'm looking forward to this enormously. So the next thing I do, I suppose, is this is going to be quite a short introduction because of the lack of information. But I think the next thing we should all do is just go and watch it, and let's reconvene at a later date for the review. So I'll give you a couple of weeks so everyone can go out and watch it. If it was a book as well, I'll give you a couple of months, but a film, a couple of weeks. It's 1 hour 50 minutes, $3.49 on Amazon in the UK. These and other platforms as well. So yeah, it's fascinating. It looks fascinating. And thank you to the person. I mean, I don't know who you are. I tried to find you and I couldn't remember who you were. But thank you for the person who told me about this film in the first place. And I'm sorry I forgot all about it and it took me so long to find it. But I used Grok. In the end, funny enough, I just used Grok. I mean, they say AI. As I said, I think AI is a very overrated subject. But in the end, after Googling and just seeing like, slavery, evil white people, etc., and loads of like films about that, I went to Grok and I just asked them, can you tell me, is there a film? Can you tell me what the name of the film is about a group of slaves who are emancipated, and then they're controlled by more crafty methods and things like. I just asked Grok that, and he says this sounds like Jones Plantation, a 2023 movie, and I thought, wow, yeah. See, AI makes a wonderful servant and a terrible master, but yeah, it's got to be good for something. So, despite my slightly cynical and nonchalant view towards AI, I will use it when it needs to be used. So, next step, guys, the review. Thank you for watching HPANWO TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.